Hello, sir. So, what's your assessment of the just concluded Lambeth conference?
It was a house divided among themselves. As the Lord Bishop Oji has said, the Global South Fellowship of Anglicans were glad that though they were there, they spoke and they said that they were not going to agree with what the other majority liberals, Anglicans were going to do, or what they did. And they also said they were prepared to give their own minority report or their independent opinion concerning this issue. So they spoke the mind of GAFCON, even though they didn't speak for GAFCON. And then we must say here, we must commend our own primate for the leadership Most Reverend Dr. Henry Dukuba had provided, along with the primates of Rwanda and Uganda. You know, it's interesting that human beings are very, very difficult to predict. GAFCON came as a strong body. When it started, 2008, 300 bishops, cutting across Africa, cutting across Asia, cutting across Middle East, were all present. I remember I was in 2010, we had the Global South meeting in Singapore. I was the one who in charge of the communique at that time in Singapore. We had so many nations who came and we were all working together towards the same goal. Unfortunately, even some who were there originally are no longer very strongly committed now. Even those who are former hosts of GAFCON 2, like Kenya, for example, some of them are dilly-dallying. So we are not bothered about majority. God doesn't fight his battle with majority. He's not a Democrat in that respect. One with God is a majority. Truth is what matters. That is unchanging. And so it has come to the point where Primate of Nigeria, Primate of Uganda, Rwanda have been issuing statements. And GAFCON has been a very strong body. Nigeria had taken leadership. Primate Peter Akinola was the one that led GAFCON. After all, Primate Nicola Soko was first chairman of Theological Resource Group that provided the theological basis for the Jerusalem Conference resolution that has just been discussed now and other decisions there. So Nigeria has been very active in this area. And so we have a good reason to say we will not go. When we went, there were issues that came up from there, and there were reactions also from the side of Nigeria, Uganda, and Rwanda, and GAFCON softly. But the truth of the matter is that GAFCON, that Lambeth was a failure. Their objective was primarily not sexuality, but matters of environment, matters of poverty and others. I know we should be dealing with this matter, but they are not supposed to be on the top burner in the matter of priorities for an ecclesiastical assembly dealing with a fractured communion the way the communion has been by the time they went to this conference. And so, practically speaking, it was good for the GSFA to say, even though we have communion, they first requested they should be given another venue to have their own communion. You don't have communion with people who are unbelievers. You don't have communion with people who have become rebels and apostate. And the Archbishop of Canterbury did grant them that. He now said, okay, we are going to be there, but we are not going to take communion. We'll sit all through the period. And that was what they did. Okay. And they issued their own statement later on. And now people are even asking the authority of the Archbishop of Canterbury, let us begin to discuss it. If it's the primate of the Church of England, and there are other primates, in the sense of the Commonwealth and the autonomy of the provinces, it is people are now moving the discussion post-Lambeth to say it is possible for us to stop the Archbishop of Canterbury being the rallying point of the Anglican Communion. It is possible for us to say you be primate of the Church of England and you can be in charge of Canterbury, just like the Pope is in charge of the Vatican, but the provinces will meet together and they will elect their own primate, and that can rotate from one place to another. So Lambeth is giving us the opportunity that we are moving further, and the rescuing of the communion is going to come in that direction in the future. And let me make this point clear. All through the period when GAFCON started to fight, we were there, we spoke at 2008 in Jerusalem, we were party to the drafting of the Jerusalem Statement. We kept on saying, we are not leaving the Anglican Communion. It is those who are rebels against Anglicanism originally that are the ones who are leaving the Anglican Communion. We are authentic Anglicans. We are not defined as being Anglican because of our relationship with Canterbury. And the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, has been vacillating. It is a normal quote British diplomacy. They don't want to go straight. They want to bend things. Christianity is not diplomatic. Jesus is straight. It's another yes or no. It's either white or black. There is all liars will go to hell. There is no white line, no purple line, nothing. So they are being diplomatic. We want to please the Americans. And by the way, It is the American money that they use to fund a larger part of the budget of Lambeth. It is because of that money that the Archbishop of Canterbury cannot say the truth. And the evil in America is coming out to England, his own doorstep. They are revising the laws. The Synod is giving so much power to go in the pro-gay way. They are already considering the blessing same-sex marriages, and so they are going the way of the others. We don't have a leader that has the kind of respect and the authority and the commitment to ethics, biblical ethics, like we have in the Roman Catholic Church in the Pope. And so the truth of the matter is Lambeth has come, has gone. I can't see what they have brought out of Lambeth. It was a wasteful exercise. It was just an assembly of people who have come to fellowship with one another with no serious resolution. The Americans have gone away their own way. They have even become worse. They were giving letters. Can you imagine a situation where the Archbishop of Canterbury gave letters of invitation to the homosexual spouses of bishops? A bishop and a bishop, they go to homosexual marriage and they now come back and they attend Lambeth. And let us remind ourselves that not long ago, the chief of staff to the Archbishop of Canterbury himself, who had worked with him for 20 years, he married another man. And the marriage was celebrated at the Scottish Episcopal Church, Anglican Church in Scotland. A man in charge of the castle of the Queen at Edinburgh. So if his own staff are homosexual and he himself is pandering towards them, then there's nothing we can expect. We should look away from that direction. They are compromised. They are set to go in their own way. We have no leadership in them. We have only leadership in Christ. The church is the church of Christ. He will build this church and the gate of hell will not prevail against it. So in summary, they've had their meeting, nothing concrete, nothing about mission, nothing about evangelism. We are the less more divided, and then the GSFA have made their point, and these other people have gone their own way. They are going to continue in their own way. They are going to bring down the church, but God will rescue this church.